Hi, welcome to Pathways of Hope. The reading for today is taken from the Gospel of John chapter 6 and it continues the Bread of Life discourse. It begins in verse 52. The Jews then disputed among themselves, saying, "How can this man give us his flesh to eat?" So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood then has eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is food indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in him. As the living Father sent me, I will live because of the Father. So he who eats me will live because of me. This is the bread which came down from heaven, not such as the fathers ate and died. He who eats this bread will live forever." This he said in the synagogue as he taught at Capernaum. The gospel of our salvation. One of the powerful things that this passage gives us is our belief that in receiving communion every Sunday or every day if you go to Mass every day, we don't only receive bread and wine. We receive Christ himself in the form of bread and wine into our lives. And what Jesus tells us is that receiving this bread will give us life unending. And he even says that the life that the Father has given him, the life that is in him, is the very life that he will share with us whenever we receive the bread of life. And for me, every time we hear this promise of the Lord, sometimes we feel, is this true? My life sometimes seems to be filled with many challenges. I get sick. My loved ones die. But then the promise of the Lord in this passage is this. He reminds the readers, hey, this is different from the manna that the Jews receive in the desert. It made them feel less hungry. It filled their hunger, but they died. And he's saying, the bread that you will receive, this bread is very different. This bread is the one that will give us life eternal. It's something that we hold on to, something that we believe in, something that gives us hope. That the final message to the world today is not death. The final message is not sickness. The final message is life. And this life comes from the bread of life given to us by Jesus because he offered his life on the cross. And now we can receive him in the form of bread and wine. And the very life that conquered death is now inside of us. Very consoling indeed. It's meant to give us hope. It's meant to give us some kind of perspective as we struggle through the daily ups and downs of life. When we face the limitations of life itself. The promise of the Lord to us is this. He who receives this bread will have life. Let's keep on believing. Let's have hope. Because the Lord is the bread of life. The one who will give us life eternal. God bless us.